This pair of terrestrial and celestial globes was made in England over 200 years ago. Before GPS, before satellites, and before Google Earth, explorers, astronomers, and scholars relied on magnificent globes like these to navigate both land and sky. Today, we'll uncover the incredible history of globes, and more specifically, we'll examine this pair of British terrestrial and celestial globes. Well, hello my antique-loving friends, and welcome to another episode of Antique Acquisitions. These 12-inch globes, crafted by T.M. Braden in London in 1800 and 1802, are more than just decorative objects. They were essential scientific tools. This terrestrial globe, created in 1802, depicts the world as it was understood at the time, reflecting the discoveries of legendary explorers like Captain James Cook. Meanwhile, the celestial globe from 1800 maps out the stars and constellations using the observations of astronomers like Dr. William Herschel, the man who discovered Uranus. At the dawn of the 19th century, the world was rapidly expanding in the minds of Europeans. This terrestrial globe reflects an age of exploration, trade, and conquest. It includes the latest cartographic updates from Captain Cook's 3 famous voyages, which mapped out vast portions of the Pacific, including Australia, New Zealand, and the west coast of North America. This was a time when much of the world was still unknown to European map makers. Notice how certain regions are still vaguely outlined, reflecting the limits of exploration at the time. While explorers charted the oceans, astronomers were mapping the stars. The British celestial globe reflects the discoveries of the 18th century, most notably those of Dr. William Herschel. Herschel revolutionized astronomy, identifying new celestial objects, refining the classifications of stars, and most famously, discovering the planet Uranus in 1781. If you look closely, you'll see constellations labeled in Latin with detailed depictions of mythological figures, an artistic tradition in celestial cartography dating back centuries. It's important to realize that the celestial globe represents the sky surrounding an observer as if they were at the center looking outward. That means it has a reversed orientation, so the stars and constellations are drawn as if they were mapped onto an external sphere, meaning they appear flipped compared to how they are seen in the actual sky. Celestial globes usually include the celestial equator and the ecliptic and celestial poles, aligning with how they exist in astronomical coordinates. Globes have been used for centuries to help humans understand their place in the universe. The first known terrestrial globe was crafted by Crates of Malus in the 2nd century BC, but it wasn't until the age of exploration in the 15th and 16th centuries that globes became indispensable tools for navigation. In the Renaissance, master craftsmen like Gerardus Mercator and William Blaeu advanced the art of globe making, creating beautifully detailed representations of Earth and the heavens. By the 18th century, British artisans like T.M. Braden perfected this craft, making globes both functional and elegant, and many of those globes today are very valuable. In an age of digital mapping, these antique globes remind us of a time when the world and the cosmos were still full of mystery. They capture a moment in history when knowledge was constantly expanding, and they reflect the spirit of discovery that shaped the modern world. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm just old enough to remember the days of getting in the car, bound for a new destination, and pulling out the old foldable map to plot a course. I'm pretty sure I still have some of those around, in fact. So, for the history lover and collector, these globes do more than just display maps of the Earth and stars. They create a direct connection to the past, bridging the gap between the past and present. Holding or studying one of these globes is like stepping into the shoes of an 18th century explorer or astronomer, seeing the world as they did, full of mystery and discovery. Well, that's it for this video, but if you're fascinated by history and want to bring the ambience of the past into your home or office, please consider purchasing antique collectibles, furniture, and art from Old Europe Antique Home Furnishings. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more upcoming videos about history and antiques, and we'll see you next time.